Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm very excited about our next guest because she is a badass, and so is her music. And so let's welcome to the show Lariyah from DieveNoire.
That's right. Hi.
Did I pronounce it okay? Because
no worries. It's Lariyah, and the band's name is DieveNoire. It's nothing to worry about.
Oh, I always worry about that. I was going to even ask you beforehand, but I'm like, okay, I think I know, but
it's not a problem.
So, welcome to the show, and
Thank you.
I just want to talk right off the bat about I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
So tell me, there's a lot of that going on in the world. Tell me your version of that.
Oh man, where to even start? I guess starting from your own little tiny world when you're dealing with your own personal things happening, all the way to at least trying to enter social media from every single level and angle. There's always something that really drains you and pushing you to different edges of your sanity, in my opinion. And this was a slight, maybe a manifest of just saying that, you know what, I can't deal with any of that. It's time to really refocus, stop caring about the world's negative intention towards you, and just do your own, and I really, really hope that people start believing in what they're saying, because there's so many of them saying that, oh, well, you know what, I don't give a fuck, and then they cry in the corner because they really do give a fuck. So I feel like we need to start being able to talk openly, to be ourselves, instead of catering to anybody else's opinions just to fit in.
Oh, absolutely. Because the bottom line is, this is why I found out. Everybody else does what they want to do. Mm-hmm. You might as well do what you want to do, regardless of what they say.
Exactly.
And that's usually what happens. It's people that do whatever they want. They're always telling other people how they should be. And you're right with the whole social media thing, because it was funny. One day I was talking to my youngest daughter, and I was like, some days I just want to drive down the road and take my phone, my computer, my iPad, and throw it out the window and keep driving. She's like, Dad, who are you kidding? You're just as addicted as anybody. I'm like, yes, I am. But I also remember a time before we had all this, and it's kind of like, I think we have too much exposure to information and everything that's going on and what people think. And, what? Even on certain notes, like with saying happy birthday on Facebook, it's like, do you really feel all this love because 5,000 people you don't know wished you a happy birthday?
Or is it just because you have to, because you're obligated to? Exactly.
Right. Exactly. And, I have actually this habit. If it's people that I really do like in my life and they're close to me in my life, I wish them happy birthday via phone or text, and I do not do it on Facebook.
And that's great. That's very
right?
good.
Real life. And of course we needed it all, but that's where your message and your music can tell us that maybe a little moderation, be yourself, don't worry about what others think. And you know what? Post whatever you want, say whatever you want, as long as you're not trying to hurt people intentionally and you're trying to be a good person. That's all I give a fuck about.
But to be quite fair with you, I would much rather to see somebody's absolute true colors. So even if you're really intending to offend somebody or post who you really are, I prefer to see that, because that way I'll know you better. So I understand that everybody's trying to be all sheltered and being under this big giant wall, like, oh God, I cannot really do anything to show who I really am. Either I'm a total piece of shit or this wonderful person. So if I'm a piece of shit, I just don't want to be canceled. But if I'm too wonderful, I don't want to be used by people. So there is always all of those limitations that unfortunately the world is giving us. That's why that song I Don't Give a Fuck is more of course, it's more like a metaphoric way of taking it, because it starts at the bar, like you're taking another shot and another shot, which in the song it means another shot of whiskey or whatever, but technically it is another shot as a bullet to your head, because you're being torn between everything to belong. So, and I think that this is really a story of everyone growing up. So now I feel like I'm old and I just don't give a shit anymore. So,
Well, what is funny about that is like they kind of call that midlife crisis when people become like that. I don't
mm,
call it a crisis at all. I think it's finally you realize you don't have to prove anything to anybody and just live your life the way you want to live it. And you're so right. I agree with you. Like I always say all the time, I'm originally from New York and New Jersey, and
mm.
I hate when Southerners like act like they're my best friend and they're not. Like,
And then
don't
talking shit behind. Yeah.
totally. Like, don't say bless your heart. Just say fuck you. Okay. Like, if you mean
Yes.
fuck you, just say fuck you. I'll respect that a lot more. Okay. And
I'm
it
right there
is,
with you.
you'll love this story because I was with somebody near the studio one day that's a friend of mine. She was talking all this shit about this other girl, and like it's small town, and the other girl walks up and she jumps up and gives her this big hug like it's her long lost best friend. And
Yeah.
then after the girl walks away, I was like, what the fuck was that? Oh, she's like, oh, I was just being nice. I'm like, no, being nice would have been, hey, how's it going? And that's it. Not acting like you're her best friend when you were just talking shit about her. Like,
Exactly.
if you can say it behind her back, say it to her face. I'll say it to somebody's face first. Then I
That's
can talk around.
100%. I was just having a conversation also with my very dear friend and saying like, listen, it's like, I'm not even talking shit. I first am going to tell you, and then I'm going to take it to another friend that is asking about you, because I'm really concerned, in fact. So if I actually did not give you shit, it means that I just don't care. But if I actually talk about it, it means I do care. But see, and speaking of that, actually, that starts a really cool subject of this whole worry about social media, etc. Meaning like people are trying to hide who they really are to get better likes, better clicks, etc. And they're starting to use even the stupid AI just to make their songs more popular. And you know what? I prefer to be hated for who I really am and the music that is actually real personality, and then just to be loved for who I'm not. And unfortunately, you keep seeing that over and over in every party, in every show. Oh my God, hi. And then, oh my God, look at this bitch. So, oh, the goddamn time. And I love New Yorkers, by the way. And I love all the Eastern side because it reminds me more of the Polish personality. We are also very quick, very temperamental. Well, we can tame up, but we're the quick thinkers, and we also speak our mind, which unfortunately over here in the Midwest and in the South too, it is taken rather negatively, because you're
Yeah.
supposed to be very soft and like, oh, I'm so sorry. And like, well, but I wasn't though.
Right. I live in South Florida, and people say, oh, New Yorkers are rude. I'm like, no,
No, honest.
at least you know where you stand. Like I'd rather know where I stand with somebody. And then if I want to associate with them, at least I know what I'm dealing with.
Hmm.
And if
Right.
I don't want to associate with them, I know what I'm dealing with too. Like, and so many people, it's like with dating too. I, I actually will say to women like, listen, I'd like to know your worst qualities. I don't want your best behavior, because if I can handle your worst qualities, then the best behavior is easy, you know? And I'd rather like in relationships I talk about that. It's like just be 100% yourself up front, and then you'll reach the right person. Like even with these online dating sites, I'm like, why do people, when there's millions of people out there, just still lie about who they are and expect to get the right match?
Well, that one I cannot really relate to because I've never been on one. But
It's crazy. It's crazy.
but I can only imagine that it can create your entire new personality. So
Well, it's just like social media, basically. It's people be who they think you want them to be. And why? When there's millions of people out there, just like on socials, connect with people as they are. So here's the cool thing about your song is the fact that I think musicians have the greatest therapy by creating music. And I think that voice, it's such communication. Like, so basically you can portray your thoughts and be 100% who you are in a song. And I think almost any artist can do that because it's almost like you go somewhere else. It's like an out of body experience when you're writing and performing a song.
I do agree with that. And also, from, I suppose, my perspective coming from the metal world and trying something else that I always loved, trying different ways of singing is also very fulfilling because, through metal years, there was definitely way more of this angry vocals. I'm a clean singer. There's only very, very little bit of the harsher ways. However, to be able to adjust your timbre and just do a lot of more even spoken word, if you will, just to be more relaxed and not non-stop perform, and just to make it just casual. It just feels awesome because it feels more realistic too. And you don't have to feel like you have to be on this entire guard. So yes, this is really, really awesome to be able to present your skill in different levels as well. I'm not going to say that the metal part is not going to come back because I truly believe that if you come from that world, it's just hard to just escape for a longer term. So as we are going to be now writing more music, is definitely going to be harder because I've noticed that even during practices and live shows, we're sounding way stronger than the recording. So technically, there will be more of the vocals that I'm more used to. But I just thoroughly enjoy really doing the lighter, softer vocals as well. Because like you said, it's the variety and just being you out there with the resonance of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what I really love, like I was listening to this newest song, I Don't Give a Fuck, but then I was listening to Preacher, and it's like two different people, and I love that because to me that's a true artist. Not somebody that just plugs in a formula, especially in metal. You can't just plug in a formula and that's all you do. But
Mhm.
when like I think too, that's what expression is. You have different moods, different things that affect you. So I think like you should have the softer moments and the heavier moments. And I don't know if I'm combining both of those songs, you're kind of reminding me of Lzzy Hale.
I've been told that actually, but the only songs that I remember from her was when I was like a later teenager that I've been shown her voice, and I never really listened to them. I remember the remark that I said, "Wow, she has extremely strong voice. She is phenomenal." It's just nothing that I casually listen to. Definitely need to check out some more because from what I remember, she was just absolutely incredible since she was a child, really. So, but you're not the first one to say that. I just wish I was as half as good as she is, really. But hey, I'm working on it. But funny you mentioned these two songs. So, The Preacher and I Don't Give a Fuck are the songs that are my kind of way of rebellion. So, I Don't Give a Fuck was, like we mentioned, just really the middle finger to the world. However, The Preacher is the expectations of being associated to the religion and following any religious dogma. And it's not necessarily Christianity. I was born and raised in Poland in Catholic family, but I rather quickly rebelled against it. None of that sounded like something I ever wanted to follow. And I don't think it is a bad thing to step out if you don't feel like a part of it and just being outcasted because of that. But because of being outcasted, I think this is where I ended up, just in the world that actually doesn't really care of whether you are or you're not associated to any of the beliefs. So yeah, that's why it was more of like a grotesque song about seeing the preacher who wants to get you to the church, but then when you turn and he sees your face and all the tattoos, etc., it's like, shh, go away. So yeah.
It is some of the rules, let's just say, are ridiculous because, like you said, tattoos. Even in Judaism, like I'm a Jew. In Judaism, it used to be you shouldn't be tatted.
Mhm.
It's not like that anymore because they realize it's kind of like an outdated thing. It was
Mhm.
because of a certain reason at a certain time that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely way more tolerated, but unfortunately, there is some sort of a very giant wave of harder believers that, oh, the God doesn't want you to do this and this. I'm like, well, my gods are pretty cool, so.
Right? I always say that my God is a loving God, not a fear mongering, vengeful
Exactly.
God. Like, why do
Yeah.
I want that? You
Yep.
know, uh,
My God parties better than anybody else too. So.
there you go. And to your point before too about with the performing live, I think when you're at Rockfest this year, you need to go to their live show because that's where I really got hooked on her. Like I thought the music was good, but then when I saw live and her range of voice live, and I
Mhm.
think that's why it's so important for people who go to festivals like Rockfest, so they can go check out bands like and that they've never checked out
Mhm.
before. And I think that's really what brings you to the band because a band like yours, a band like a lot of them at that festival, their live show is a whole nother story.
So to be brutally honest, I mostly listen to extreme metal, and I know it sounds weird when you listen to DieveNoire because we sound absolutely nothing like anything like that. But we all enjoy this like stomp the foot kind of music, some guitars, and like old stuff like Johnny Cash, etc. But I've never attended actually like the more mainstream. Well, no, that's a lie. Actually, I have played Knotfest like 11 years ago. I believe, yeah, that was 11 years ago. But I only was on the extreme stage with my previous band too, so I'm just not exposed to it. However, I love learning. So with Rockfest, which I only know, let's see, Offspring. I do know of a hailstorm, of course, but I did not even do honestly a lot of research about bands that are playing there, especially that we are playing only Saturday. So I'm going to miss the other days as well. But I think that we're in the best day. And because you mentioned actually a hailstorm, knowing her range, just even from what I remember. So when you are telling me that there is way more to learn, I love learning from others because I feel like artists' life should never have, okay, I've mastered something. I believe that there's always room for learning a lot, and clearly I was not trained vocally of like any expert level. So there's always room for improvement. So I'll be right there in front of the stage for sure.
There you go. Well, I'm on the same page as you because, like, I'm into bands like Slayer and,
Mhm.
Slipknot and Exodus, and I could go on and on. And so that's why I said I was never really, I was like, it was good music, but
Mhm.
then live. And I think that's true of so many bands, though. It's
Mhm.
like, even with the extreme music, when you go see a band live, you get it.
It's a
Like
whole different world, yeah.
yeah, and I'm upset I'm not going to be able to see your set live because I'm going to be doing coverage at Incarceration this weekend, and I hate when they put festivals on the same weekend.
And oh man, I'm actually dreaming to play that, and not only because playing big stage or overall stages, but because it's connected with tattoo world, which I am a tattoo artist. I'm actually waiting on my client that is coming in half hour. So behind you can see the awards
Nice.
that I have and all that stuff. I'm still setting up my shop, so I'm not gonna show you everything because there's ladders and everything laying around. But yeah, so Incarceration, it is the festival that I was hoping to get one day on it too. So who knows, maybe next year.
I'm putting it out there for you. Next year, you could perform and tattoo at Incarceration, right?
Let's do that.
you know and it is so it's funny. I tell this story a lot. My youngest daughter, she goes to me, so dad, are you excited about this festival? I'm like, well, when you do it every weekend, I don't know if excited's the word. I love doing it, it's super fun,
Mhm.
but excited, I don't know if that's the word. And then the first year I did Incarceration, I called her up and I'm like, now I'm excited, I'm calling from the prison yard of Shawshank. And it is funny because I was hanging out with this other artist early in the morning. We're taking pictures of the prison, and he goes, "Hey, you take my picture, I'll take yours." And look at us, we're fanboying out on Shawshank Prison.
That's amazing. A great movie, by the way.
Oh, I love that movie, but it's so wild. Like to be an artist like you and have that as your backdrop for your show. That's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so let's keep fingers crossed so it happens next year.
Putting it out there to Wimmer. He needs to put you guys on next year.
I would love to. And I need to pay him a visit anyway to get me on some leg tours, etc. So I just want to keep going. Like I'm having ADHD and not being able to be on tours is just a horrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of the business, right? Like some people don't get it, that same youngest daughter, sometimes I'll bring her festivals with me and she'll be like halfway through the first day. She's like, "Dad, I don't know how you do this every weekend. I'm already done."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need more.
You have to love what you're doing. I've been doing a lot of different jobs before, like for example, restaurant business. I survived under a year because I hate people. Then, for example, working for corporate, when I worked for Harley Davidson bike sales, I also survived a year because I just could not deal with the corporate stuff, etc. That is just not real. So finally finding a job that I like, which is tattooing, it makes it so much easier and you're happy to do it. So Your daughter will probably understand at some point. How old is she?
Well, she's 30, going to be 31 in September.
Well, then never
she's
mind.
Up there.
Okay.
Yeah. But she gets it. But she's like, she loves the music and she loves going to festivals, but not the same.
Of course.
It's like, she needs a rest for like 6 months after one of them. Me, I'm like ready to go. Like after I do ink, I'm going over to do Bloodstock and maybe Vakken and then Rocklahoma and then Louder Than Life and then Aftershock and probably others in the middle there. So
awesome. Well, hopefully next year I'm going to see you on a couple of those and hopefully from the stage, not only from the fans' perspective too.
Yeah, no, we need you on the stage at like all the Danny Wimmer festivals.
I would love to.
I'm just putting it out there for you. So is there anything else you want to tell the listeners that we haven't covered already that's coming up for you? And also tell them your socials, your website, all that information so they could connect with you and see all your music and check out your tour dates and all that good stuff.
Oh, the easiest really, instead of remembering all the social media, is to remember how to spell the band's name and put .com at the end, and the links are already there with merchandise as well. But otherwise, I'm extremely grateful for you to find time to talk to me. I'm extremely honored, so thank you very much.
Well, thank you, because you make great music, and I love how brutally honest you are. You're my type of person, okay?
It'll get me in trouble one day for sure.
It's gotten me into a lot of trouble, okay? But you know what? It's the only way to be, right. And at least everybody knows our true selves, and that's what counts. And that's what counts as an artist, in my opinion. So you are a great artist just for that alone.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you. I'll be talking to you one other day.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.